My name is Crix, and for 13 orbital cycles I've served as a senior conditioning master at the Interstellar Performance Complex. I've trained lava world shock troopers, vacuum-adapted sprinters, and once even coached a silicon-based athlete who didn't technically possess muscles. I understood limits. Then there was the Annihilator Track. It sits beneath the facility, sealed behind warning glyphs and legal projections that scroll faster the longer you stare. The course was designed by military tacticians, risk analysts, and at least one engineer who appeared to resent life itself. Anti-gravity chambers that flip orientation without warning. Neuroelectric fields tuned to stop megafauna mid-charge. Hydraulic crushers that move on randomized delays. Thermal corridors that swing from cryogenic freeze to star core heat in seconds. It has ended 19 lives. We keep it operational because, legally, it still functions. And because shutting it down would bankrupt 2 planetary governments and a moon-based insurer. Most sensible species see the warnings and quietly leave. The reckless last less than a minute before emergency extraction rips them out. So when a human walked into my office during a routine cycle wearing loose shorts and a shirt that read, "Embrace the burn," I assumed he was lost. "Hey," he said, extending a small, fragile hand. "Ethan Cole, I'm here about the Advanced Endurance Facility." "The Annihilator Track?" I asked. "That's the one," he smiled. "I'd like to book it daily, mornings." I laughed before I could stop myself. "You do realize," I said carefully, "that the course has killed elite athletes?" He nodded. "Yeah, that's why I'm interested." That was the moment I understood something fundamental had gone wrong. Not with the facility, with my assumptions. I didn't yet know that this lost human wasn't here to test himself. He was here to expose something far more worse than pain. The waiver is designed to stop confidence. 49 pages. Multi-species translation, anatomical projections, explicit language about limb loss, neural damage, organ liquefaction, and what legal describes as non-reversible termination. I've seen beings spend hours on it. Ethan scrolled. Fast. 90 seconds later, he stopped. He hesitated. Not fear, calculation. "Yeah," he said quietly. "Still worth it." He signed. "Page 22 details probable dismemberment," I said. "Yeah," he replied. "Signed something similar for a desert endurance event." I pulled up archived footage instead of arguing. "This is Korath the Unbroken," I said, projecting a horned titan built like a siege engine, champion of 3 systems. Korath entered confidently. 15 seconds later, the gravity chamber inverted. He collapsed. "Pistons activated. Emergency extraction." 27 seconds, I said. Ethan leaned closer. His foot placement was off. I switched footage. A 6-limbed apex predator. Perfect reflexes. She cleared half the course before the electric lattice locked, her muscles simultaneously. She lost 4 limbs. "She almost had it," Ethan murmured. "Good early pacing." The facility AI activated. "Welcome, Ethan Cole. The Annihilator Track currently holds a 34% fatality rate. Estimated human survival time 11 seconds. I grabbed his shoulders. 11 seconds. He nodded. "I've trained through worse." "What is worse than this?" "Burpees in humidity," he said. I didn't ask. 11 seconds would become minutes, and minutes would expose a flaw in our entire system. The rotational corridor activates first. Walls, floor, and ceiling spin independently. Most species lose orientation instantly. Ethan jogged in. The rotation began. He adjusted his stride, then stumbled. Just once. His foot clipped the wall as gravity flipped late. He caught himself, recalculated, changed pace. The AI paused, updating human equilibrium parameters. He resumed. He was humming. He should be disoriented, the trauma specialist whispered. Ethan exited 90 seconds later. "New species benchmark," the AI announced. The electric lattice followed. Ethan paused longer this time. 4 seconds. Too long. A beam shifted early. He twisted mid-step, grazed it, just barely. The lattice flared. "Electrical contact registered," the AI reported. Ethan grunted, shook out his arm, and adjusted his route. He cleared it. Then came the crush array. 30 pistons. Random timing. He mistimed one. The piston descended faster than predicted. He slapped the edge, missed, then caught it with one hand, breath sharp. Silence in the control room. He pulled himself up. "Might as well recover here," he said, doing 2 pull-ups before dropping clear. The thermal corridor nearly broke him. Steam poured off his body. Frost crept across exposed skin. His vitals spiked, then stabilized. He exited after 19 minutes. Alive. Smiling. "This is great," he said. "Same time tomorrow?" I couldn't answer. By day 3, the galaxy would realize something unsettling. The track wasn't testing humans. Humans were testing it. By cycle 4, the observation deck was crowded. Scientists, officers, administrators. And fear. What happens if others try this? One official whispered. We'll have casualties. Insurance flagged the facility. Military observers requested access. Not to train, to measure. Ethan added weight to his vest. Why, I asked. Adaptation, he replied. Same stimulus stops working. A war-bred commander entered the track in full armor. 48 seconds later, extraction triggered. Ethan congratulated him sincerely. Solid start. Core stability needs work. Human footage surfaced shortly after. Desert ultramarathons, frozen swims, cliff jumps with fabric wings, recreation. That's when I asked Ethan why. To find my limit, he said. And if you do? He smiled. Then I move it. I felt something colder than fear. The danger was no longer Ethan surviving. It was what others would try to become. Administration rebranded immediately. The Annihilator Track became the human challenge. Ethan proposed levels, progression, recovery, adaptation windows. Fatalities dropped not to zero but to statistically negligible levels. Participation exploded. Species that once fled now trained cautiously, then confidently. Pain isn't the goal, Ethan explained. Adaptation is. Against my judgment, I trained. Level 2 nearly ended me. I returned anyway. Rehook. I still believed humans were dangerous, but now I wondered if avoiding them was worse. Ethan left 6 weeks later. He rated the facility 5 stars. Solid intermediate challenge. Intermediate. Enrollment surged. Insurance collapsed in a good way. Performance metrics rose across 40 species. I stood at the track entrance preparing for level 3. Humans aren't fearless. They just test fear repeatedly. And I wondered quietly, how many species would die trying to be human? If one average human could turn a death trap into a training ground, what happens when they stop being rare?